Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Get Play Soon. In this video, we are going to discuss about two important things, that is CPU and the second thing is input output. In the previous videos, we have already discussed about process life cycle, schedulers, everything. Before learning the scheduling algorithms of process, you need to know about the concept of CPU and input output. So let's get started. By the way, this is the 13th video in the series of operating system. If you haven't watched my previous videos yet, make sure you watch them. Moving ahead, as I already said, we are going to discuss about two things. One is CPU and the other is input output. First, let's talk about CPU bound process. Some process need a lot of thinking, lot of calculations. All these things which use CPU are known as CPU bound process. Imagine a mathematician solving a complex problem. While the mathematician is working on it, they need all the CPU power, they need all their brain power, right? Similarly, in CPU bound process, they need computer's brain, nothing but CPU, central processing unit. So these tasks can take a while when they're running. And also remember that the computer might not be able to do other things very quickly because the whole focus will be on the CPU bound process only. The CPU bound process take a lot of time. You can see in the graph, all the blue color is the time taken by the process to complete the task. Moving ahead, we have input output bound process. So other process involve talking to outside world, like reading or writing to disk, like taking the user input or giving some output to the user. All these things comes under input output. So this task is very simple. They need to wait for a while. So during this input output waiting period, the CPU or the computer can do other things also. Also, when compared to the CPU bound process, input output bound process take a small time. You can see the circles here representing how much time. CPU bound process take long time when compared to input output bound process. Now moving ahead, I need to talk to you about CPU input output burst cycle. Here you can see process go through this cycle of working hard, doing all the computation, and all these things comes under CPU burst. And then waiting for something to happen, waiting for either input or output or just clicking the mouse, everything comes under input output burst. So this is a cycle you can see in the left side. CPU burst followed by input output burst, again CPU burst, again input output burst. So in this cycle, if you can see, every time it starts with a CPU burst. So and it is alternative, right? And it also ends with the CPU burst. The last CPU burst will end with a system request to terminate the execution, right? You might be thinking, why do we need this CPU input output burst cycle? See, understanding these cycles helps us to manage the process better. In the upcoming videos, we are going to discuss a lot about scheduling algorithms like first come, first serve, shortest job first, etc. Before learning these scheduling algorithms, you need to know and understand the importance of CPU and input output. If you know if the process is going to take CPU a lot, we can schedule it appropriately. Or if it is going to wait for outside things of the computer like input output, we can plan for that too. So all these things are the fundamentals for the process scheduling. So if a process contains more input output bound and short CPU burst, then it is called as input output bound program. If it has long CPU burst and short input output burst, then it is known as CPU bound program. And all this fundamental will help us to select an appropriate CPU scheduling algorithm. All these algorithms we are going to cover in the upcoming videos. So please stay tuned. Till here, I hope you understood everything. Thank you so much for watching till the end. And also, if you have any doubts, make sure you comment below.